Welcome back to the Coast Distinct Podcast. It's your boy DJ KO. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. I had a great week last week. You guys didn't see me last week because shout out to the Champagne Wives. I got to give them a hand clap. Shout out to the Champagne Wives. We was all in Anguilla last week. Shout out to Kelly for her 40th birthday. We had a good time. I didn't feel like coming back. We had some family members that we met down there that we didn't know. So it was an awesome experience. I appreciate that. We're back in Houston, and we're back at it. I'm glad you guys tuned in. I'm glad you guys continue to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. I'm in Anguilla. I'm getting text messages and DMs, and they talking about, my last episode. So I had to play it off as if I was there, but I'm glad you guys tuned in. So today, guys, we have a special show for you guys. You've probably seen this brother around town. You've probably seen this brother on TV because we're going to get into that. This brother, you know what I'm saying, he's a celebrity over here, man. So I had to bring him on the show, you dig what I'm saying? So I'd like everybody to welcome to the show Mr. Rashid Floyd.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, boss. I appreciate it, man. I feel like a celebrity joining you, man.
Hey, man.
The podcast is taking off, so congratulations to you, man. I feel honored.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it, man. I'm glad you came on the show, brother.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man. I see that you got. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to you. I see that you proposed, man.
Yes, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I did.
Most brothers that propose at this day and age, I'm like, either they crazy or. But
I know, man.
Much love to that, though, man.
Appreciate it, man. I told my, hey, this is it, though. Hey.
That's it, no more.
Y'all nobody.
And it was a public proposal.
Yes.
So you had a lot of work to put into that thing.
Yeah, man, a lot of planning went into it, man. But I'm happy, man. She's a great girl, so,
Yeah, that's what matters. When I got married, I was like, we got to do this, First, I got to talk to the dad.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then you have to go shopping for the ring and, all the other stuff.
Yeah, man. I had a great conversation with her pops because she's from Dallas.
Okay.
So I went down there and talked to him. It was cool. It was funny. It was enlightening. That was fun. But, the necessary stuff, like you said, the stuff we got to go through before we do the whole
Absolutely.
thing,
Absolutely. So, Rasheed, I want to tell the people exactly where you're from. Because I know they've seen you before, but they probably don't know exactly where you're from.
Yeah. Okay, I'm born and raised in Houston, man. I'm a Houstonian. It's not many of us left anymore, man. It's a transplant city now.
Absolutely.
It was like similar to Atlanta when I used to live in Atlanta. Nobody was from Atlanta. But born and raised in Houston, man.
Okay.
I've lived in multiple cities and states throughout the years, but I've been back in Houston now, man, over 15 years.
Okay.
So this is home for me, man. So yeah, love being back here. This is the crib. Man.
There you go. Shout out to Houston. I got to shout out Houston. You know what I'm saying? We here.
The North Side, to be specific.
Because I know a lot of, like you said, a lot of individuals that live here. They're not from here. Like for instance, me. I've been here 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah.
We call Houston, Louisiana light.
You're right.
L-I-T-E, right?
That's so funny because if you from Texas or Louisiana, you got family vice versa in that state or the opposite.
Right.
So I call Louisiana, I call it East Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I call Louisiana East Texas.
Well, you actually, you're probably right because what's crazy, let me see. A lot of people like in that Lake Charles area are from Texas because they working at the plant or whatnot. Yeah. And a lot of people from that Baton Rouge, Lafayette, they do a lot of Texas habit stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, much love to that. So, I wanted to get on you at the same time because I see that you went to A&M, man. And of course, I went to Southern, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, here we go, the swag stuff.
You know what I'm saying? It's HBCU love at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, how did you go to A&M from Houston?
Man, it's a crazy story because, like we said off camera, my whole family on my mother's side went to SU in Baton Rouge because they're from small town Patterson, Louisiana. It's not too far from Baton Rouge. So, that was projected on me. You're going to SU. You're going to SU.
Right.
And then pretty good basketball player in high school, man. And then just started getting offers and scholarship stuff like that. And then I was talking to SU at the time, but they was on probation.
Yeah.
Like that's I think it was some.
What year was
I
this?
don't remember exactly.
This was
so I came out. So this was in. So I went to JUCO 2 years prior. So boom, boom. That would be the '99 season.
Oh, 99. Okay, yeah.
1999. Yeah.
Okay. And basketball, were we on probation? We probably was. I don't know. Yeah. We've been on probation so many times.
Right, I know.
So,
yeah, man. So, and then on top of that, the JUCO I went to was in Alabama.
Okay.
So it's a long story, but I committed verbally to Arkansas Little Rock.
Little Rock, okay,
yeah.
okay. Arkansas
Little Rock.
It's in Little Rock,
Arkansas, yeah. But they placed me here because they, da-da-da-da-da. The coach ended up getting fired. So now I reopened all my commitment, my recruiting back up.
Right.
Well, my roommate was from Huntsville, Alabama at the time, where Alabama A&M is.
Right.
So on the weekends, we used to go there and kick it. I was like, yo, this is live.
Right, HBCU experience.
Crazy, right? And so they got wind I would be on campus and da-da-da-da. Then I met a little lady friend up there, so they found that out, so they started recruiting me heavy.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up there, man.
Oh, that's dope. I bet. Well, I bet since coming from Houston and like the Louisiana, I got Louisiana ties, and going to Alabama, I bet that was like.
It was a culture shock. It was different, man. I went down there not knowing a soul, but man, I love it. Wouldn't trade it for anything because it's so much rich history and tradition in our culture.
Right.
And most of it negative, but I learned a lot of that stuff with the Tuskegee and the 16th Street bombing of the churches, the Selma Bridge, all that black history in Alabama.
There. Yeah.
I learned a lot of that. So I got a lot of culture, man. So
That's dope.
It was dope. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So being an ex-athlete, right? So being an ex-athlete, so what you think about this day and age of athletics? Because a lot of cats that I know that I came up with, they're like, man, these cats, of course, they saw for the game has changed, and now, like especially in basketball, you got to have a 120-point game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no defense being played.
None.
So what kind of, like some short, what you think about today's game?
Man, you know what? I had this conversation with partners and stuff that I played with and friends the age, man. It's a completely different. It's just the little things. With me playing ball, like we talk about, I'm a 6'6" wing guy or play guard. I can shoot the ball, I can handle a little bit. I was athletic, da-da-da-da. But now, every shot is a three.
Every single shot.
Back in the day, old school, you had to pass it 3-4 times. Ball had to go inside, kick back out, shoot the three.
Right.
And now we talk about I come down, one dribble, no pass, shoot the three. Like back in the day, you coming out the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It don't even matter if you made it.
You got to go.
Your coach get his ass out.
Because you ain't running the play.
Yeah, you might not come back in for a half. So that's big. So like, man, if I played in this day and age, I'd be in the league 15 years.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a major thing. And now with all this NIL stuff, these kids can make money. I'm happy for them. But, just navigating through that's a complete difference. So,
absolutely. So let me ask you this. I know that you was on Ready to Love. Shout out to that, first of all. So, Ready to Love show. So, I don't know, were you on, like, TV or camera prior to that? So, how was that experience? Like, when you first got onto the show, because you was on season, 3, right?
Technically, yeah. They have it mixed. Yeah, it was
okay. Because like COVID or something, like a COVID year or something like that?
Yeah.
So how was that experience? Like, just being on camera, being in Houston, being around your fellow natives, that people that you know, but you having a camera follow you around everywhere.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So our season is unique and stands out. No one has had a season like ours because I remind people, we were a Houston-based cast, but we were taken out of the state. We were in a bubble, basically. In a resort in North Georgia.
Oh, y'all was even in Texas.
No,
I thought y'all was in
Texas. In the
Texas.
mountains, Georgia, excuse me, little small town.
Okay.
Like a little lake town with a lake. That's why people saw we'd have boating activities. We were on the water.
I didn't know that.
We weren't even here. So, and they did that because this is pre-vaccine. There was no vaccines, no nothing.
Absolutely.
So they took that, the NBA bubble style. Boom, they took us there, dude. We was tested every 2-3 days. When we got there, I had to quarantine in my room for like 5 days.
Wow.
They was like bringing the food to your door, knocking on the door, like you in prison. Like I'm doing push-ups on the, like it was crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it was crazy, man. So nobody has that experience of Ready to Love, but our last resort. That's why ours is entitled Last Resort. So after you come off the quarantine, then we just jump into it, and we're filming. And Houston is a small, big town, but I only ended up knowing like one person, or
from
maybe
the whole show? Yeah,
two. One like from the cast, which was cool. It was, because I could meet these people organically and not have any prior relationships. So that was dope. But the camera, it takes a little bit to get used to it. And then after that, man, you just kind of fall in because we were always on camera, always. And then you learn little tricks of the trade. We learned how to turn our microphones off and kind of hide behind the stuff. So it became like a brother and sisterhood because we was all there because we couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, so it was very different, but cool at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So when I saw, I thought it was like Well, whoever edited, they did a great job. Because I thought you guys was actually in Houston.
Nope.
But since nobody was out in Houston, I thought nobody was out, you guys was out while nobody else was out.
Yeah, the only was the Houston cast was after us. That was based in Houston.
Right.
So we was jealous.
That's why they had two casts in Houston.
They always have two, whatever city. So they had two in Atlanta, two Houston, two DC, and I'm assuming they're going to do two in Miami. They're doing two.
Okay.
Miami
Okay. Would you go back on it? Would you trade? Not trade, but like, would you go to another city and say, okay, well, I want to be on the show again,
No, not another dating show. Obviously now I don't need to go on another dating show. But even I was saying that prior to my engagement and me getting serious with my fiance, I was like, it was cool for the experience. I'm open to doing more TV, but not like reality-based dating type stuff.
Right. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind hosting it. I told nephew Tommy I wouldn't mind taking his job.
Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be dope, though.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what I'm saying? So let's fast forward a little bit. So I see that you have something that's super unique, something that you do as an entrepreneur, right? You do something that's unique, and I know a lot of us as black individuals, we have unique jobs, unique businesses. Yeah. But this is something that I never seen. Okay. Like I seen Uber for jets before.
Yeah.
I seen that, but I never seen a brother sell exotic vehicles, right? So that's something that one reason why I wanted to bring you on, because I wanted to know the trick of the trade, the acquisitions of it, the sales and the consulting in it. So tell the people exactly what you do.
Okay. Well, so I own a luxury and exotic vehicle concierge service, right?
Okay.
That offers everything from acquisitions to sales to transportation, even consultation.
Okay.
And I primarily focus on business professionals, athletes, and entertainers. Those who don't have the time to do all the back and forth and the going to the dealerships and spending hours at a time doing all that kind of stuff. So I provide basically a white glove service where you don't have to do anything. You just tell me what you want. I procure the vehicle, get to the pricing, I can send it to your home office, paperwork in hand. You never have to leave. So I got into that business, which is crazy, man. I tell people this. March of 2020.
Okay.
I quit my job at Cadillac.
Okay.
Right? So that's where my background in vehicles come from, in auto sales.
The sales, Cadillac, okay.
Prior to that, I used to be a high school teacher and basketball coach.
Oh, wow.
I completely did a 180 in 2013. I left the coaching and teaching profession.
Okay.
And started at Cadillac. Right?
So what made you do that transition?
Man, I was burnt out, bro. I was burnt out, man.
The kids wore you out, man?
So people always say that. It's not the kids. The kids are dope. Kids are kids.
Okay.
They're going to be, I don't give a damn if it's 1980 to 2020.
Right.
Kids are going to be kids. Now, they have different access and different technology, but kids are going to be kids. They keep you young, all that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's them parents, boy,
they drive you crazy.
Can we cuss on this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Man, they wear your ass out, boy.
The parents?
What? They was killing me.
I know, especially in sports.
Killing me.
Well, my son ain't playing. I know he
did. You know what it was? You know what was the worst?
Was the white kids?
Us.
Was us?
Us. Oh, they was killing me.
Really?
Killing me. I heard from one white parent.
Wow.
One white parent, and they completely went off the rails. But it was us. Because where I was at, I was at a middle to upper middle class school district. And so my black parents, which was, I love to see it. They had two parents in the household. They made great money. These were business professionals. I had some CEOs of Shell that were black.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
But they killing me. They the worst.
Yeah, they calling you.
They got some success. They got money.
Yeah.
And then they look at me like I'm not a professional. Like I got my wait a minute. I ain't get my credentials and my resume off the back of a Cracker Jack box.
Right.
If you pay me for a service exclusive, I'm a professional. You know what? Lean on that.
You know what? It probably was this because they was more familiar with you as being a black person, so they felt that like you was like a little nephew or a little cousin.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
You know what I'm saying? So they say, oh, I could talk to them, but their talking was like you said. They probably had access or they had funds.
All kinds of stuff, man. They try to befriend me, but then I'm not doing. They son not playing. Man, I had emails and people trying to sit with me and meet with me, and it's all coming down to playing time. But guess who I never heard from? The kids' parents that played.
Right.
I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I'm like, man, I at one point, I thought I had like ulcers. I was like stressed out.
Oh wow, was that bad?
Yeah. And I went to the doctor. It was something else. But then I just started assessing my life. I said, wait a minute, I'm going through this, and y'all pay me what? A year?
Absolutely.
Man, kick rocks. I'm out. I'm out. So I left in 2013, man, hadn't looked back, and started in Cadillac.
So I'm saying, but all right, so now I'm trying to be in the mind frame of you. Okay, so I'm stressed out. I'm with these crazy-ass kids, right? I'm trying to say, okay, what do I want to do next? So did you look at?
So I've always been in the cars, always.
Okay.
Always has been in the cars, and it's funny. I'm glad you asked that. So I was actually about to buy an Escalade, right? Okay. Just to have the Escalade, right? And the guy I was going to see was a mutual friend.
Okay.
So I knew him. So we were just talking. He's a former athlete. We would just chop it up, talking. I was like, man, I'm burnt out, man. These parents killing me. Like, it ain't worth it. I'm trying to do something else. He's like, bro, you should get in the car business, bro. You would kill it. He's like, all athletes kill it. Because we got the gift of gab. Yeah. We competitive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We self-motivated. Yep. We're self-starters. He said you would kill it. So that was in May of 2013. Mind you, I hadn't quit my job yet. My son was just born. And I was like, you know what? Let me try it. It's in the summer. I'm still getting paid from the school system.
Right. Yeah.
So I jump in. Man, my first day I sold a car.
First day.
No
training.
No nothing. We had training upstairs. They said go downstairs for lunch and just shadow some people. If you see anybody on the showroom,
and
just
you sold a vehicle.
I talked to somebody. Boom, they was asking me questions. I was like, looking back at the sticker on the car. I don't know, but da-da-da-da-da. Then I got an experienced person to shadow me. Sold the car first day. Next day, boom, another one. I was like, wow. Yo, what the hell? Man,
easy, right?
Man, and then like the first 6 months, bro, I was rolling. And it was like, first 6 months, I made more selling cars than I did teaching for a full year.
Wow.
So I said,
that's
you know, like that movie when they call back, they say, hey, put your mom on the phone.
That's right.
So
I ain't coming back ever
again. I called the school. I was like, I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah. And been selling cars ever since, man.
So okay, you got into the sales side of it, right? So you got used to the sale. You got the sale bug. So what made you say, okay, well, I know this? Because how long were you in it?
Total, let's see.
13 to 19.
7 years.
7 years. Yeah. Okay, so you got burnt out. Not really burnt out, but just.
I saw a different window, a different avenue. I think that's where you lead with the question, man. I got into sales and was great, like a fish to water.
Okay.
Number one sales guy, boom, before my full first year in the business. My first full year selling cars, I was number one in the city.
Okay.
Top 5 in the nation.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I wanted more, though. I wanted more. I wanted promotion because I'm seeing the GMs and the owners.
Right.
These cats millionaires.
The kind of money they making.
Yeah. And they got more time because it's a rat race in the bit. They'll eat you up. It's damn near 7 day a week job.
Right.
6 weeks. You miss from your kids. You working all the time. So I was like, I want that. So only way I can get that if I need to move up. So I was just putting pressure, and then try to keep you where you are because I'm making them money.
That's right.
I'm making them. You don't want to do that. You're the top sales guy. Top sales guy is always going to make more money than managers
because they on salary and
they
get
stuff like
quota
that.
from each salesman, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say I understand that, but I can't be an owner till I go through these passageways. Y'all don't hire owners and GMs from the sales floor. So I'm willing to take a couple steps back monetarily to gain the knowledge I need to take off.
Right.
So I just put pressure on them, bro. Put pressure on them. And then I got promoted to finance manager.
Okay.
I was in there for a year. Put pressure again. Boom. I want to be a sales manager. Boom. Got promoted to pre-owned sales manager.
Okay.
That was another. Did that for another year. And then so now I learned the front end and the back end.
So you know the business.
I know the business now.
Right.
Now I can take it and go whenever I'm ready.
Right.
Because they like to. A lot of times they like to keep the salespeople stupid.
Correct.
They don't want you to know the back end.
Right.
Right. So now I know how a deal structure. I know how banks buy deals, how we work through credit, how we buy these cars, how we're, all the whole nine. And then ultimately the last thing that made me go on my own, I got divorced.
Okay.
And now I have a son. So now it's part of me, and I know how the car business eats you up.
Right.
I'm worried about quality of life now.
Right.
I need to spend time with
him. Family now.
Because now he's not under the same roof as me anymore.
Okay.
Because we divorced.
Okay, I got you.
So now I got to figure this shit out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So bounced around, helped a couple other Cadillac stores get their stuff started. So I was doing training and running teams at Cadillac. And then, man, at that point, it got to 2020. I just was over it. I was jaded.
So before you get to that point, all right, before we get to Car Gods, I want to know from an entrepreneur standpoint. I know, like you said, they had you like they wanted you to still be like you said, quote unquote, dumb, and not know your ability or know your talent that you had. I want to know, in your mind, were you doing it just to get a promotion, or were you doing it to say, okay, eventually this is my step out of here. I just had to learn the business, because I know a lot of people get into business and they don't know the back end of it. They just know the front. Okay, how I can make money, but they don't know how to get out of it.
So I saw the value in learning it. I didn't know I was going to take it on my own and do this at the time. But I saw the power in the education of it, right? And that's what I said. I was willing to take a couple steps back monetarily to take 10 steps forward with the career and what I wanted. Because at this point, even as a married man, I wanted to be there for my son and my family. So what I saw was, in the car industry, who works closer to a 9-to-5 job like regular people?
Regular, yeah.
That would be your general manager and ownership.
And your owner, right.
Right? They don't work Saturdays. They come in at 8. They go home 4:30. Boom, you at home in time for dinner. Pick the kids, the whole 9 yards. You don't.
And they're making big salary or whatever
they're
making. Yeah.
So that was my focus. I want that.
Okay.
How do I get there? I gotta learn this. I gotta learn all this stuff. So that's why I was so aggressive in putting pressure on them. Because I even threatened to leave a couple times, and they gave in and they promoted me. So that was my focus, learning it to then take it and maybe even stay at that store and run that store. Okay. Or get an opportunity to run another store.
But that's major though. That's because the thing is, and how old were you at this time?
I was 30. I was 34.
So you're 34 years old. You have a son, and but then that was doing. I know now a lot of us are talking. Financial literacy and learning how to, especially when pandemic hit, we started these businesses, getting these PPP loans, that stuff. We're legit PPP loans.
Right, exactly.
So, but that's peculiar because you're a young man, you have a young child, and you're making pretty good money, but you're like, okay, well, it's always something better because you don't understand you making the money, but that time is everything.
Time is everything.
Like I tell everybody, the most important thing in life is time and relationships. It's way more valuable than money. Time. 100%. If you can manage your time and maintain relationships, that's everything.
Because you can use your relationships to make money.
To make money, absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people think it's just money. You're working 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're killing yourself. Yeah. Yeah. So now fast forward from transitioning from Cadillac as a pre-owned salesman. Yep. Pre-owned manager. To quitting. Just straight out quitting. Yeah. So I'm done with this.
Yeah. So life changes, though. Go through divorce. That's a whole thing in itself.
Absolutely.
That takes years to come out of for some people. So I was preoccupied with that and not in the mental space to what it takes to perform at a high level at the car dealership.
Okay.
Because you got to be, just like athletics.
Yeah, you got to be
more mental than physical.
Yeah.
Right? And I was checked out. And I was worried about, okay, how am I going to maximize my time with my son? Because that's most important to me, period. So now I'm worried about quality of life. And then I would still get calls from people who I'd sold Cadillacs to.
Oh, wow.
Asking me about different cars.
Relationship.
They would ask me my opinion. Because they say, hey, you're a car guy. I'm thinking about buying this Rolls Royce. Do you know anybody over at Post Oak Rolls Royce? I was like, I don't. He said, but I'll make some calls and try to help you out, da-da-da. So I'll get those kind of calls and advice on other type of vehicles. So then the light bulb went off. I was like, okay. And then one of my customers like, man, I went over to whatever store he said. He's like, those guys are awful. Like, you'd run circles around those dudes.
Some of the salesmen.
Yes. Okay. He said, because your attention to detail, how customer service oriented you are, how you handle your business, and you make the process seamless and super easy. He's like, you would kill it over there. Have you ever thought about going to work at these Rolls Royce and blah, blah, blah? I said, I thought about it. So I went over there and interviewed.
It was like, hell no.
They was like, I didn't get hired. Went to another spot, didn't get hired. I said, okay. So then March 2020, I'm at another Cadillac dealership, right? Okay. They had just opened. I went over there to help them get started. I was just selling cars at that point. And I came up with the idea to go on my own and be a broker. And I came up with the Car Guys thing, right? Mm-hmm. And it's funny, my homeboy named me that. You know how it's funny how you get your nicknames. It's from the street or from your family.
Right.
And it's from one of my partners, one of my college teammates. He would call me and always ask me shit about cars.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, you keep on calling me about it. He said, man, I had to call the car guy. You the car guy, bro, I need to know. And it just stuck. So I was like, okay. So how can I take this? So anyway, I decide to leave March 1st. And my plan was I'm going to document everything and put it on YouTube.
Okay.
Because we're in a voyeuristic society.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to look at stuff. Everybody wants to see cool, nice shit.
Right.
So I got the concept from $1 Million Listing.
Okay, yeah.
LA and New York, which I love. I love real estate, love watching that kind of stuff, right? So people love those shows. People like watching people with money buy nice, fly shit.
Absolutely.
So what's the second most expensive purchase that most people make in their life?
A vehicle.
Is a vehicle next
right.
to a house.
That's right.
So why not show some cool people buying some cool, dope shit?
Right.
Cars.
That look nice doing it.
Right.
Right.
Why not? Boom, nobody else is doing it. So I did that. March 15th, the whole damn country shuts down. COVID. I was like, what the hell did I just do?
Right.
I was shook. I had my son for spring break, and they never went back to school. Remember that?
Right. They was in the house.
Yeah.
And
they came home March for spring break. They
That's
never
right.
went back.
That's right.
I was like, what in the hell did I just do? I didn't quit my job. I can't get no unemployment.
Wow. That's right, because you quit.
Bruh. I got car notes. I got
bills coming.
What? I'm like, oh man, what the hell did I just do, bro? And I've been going ever since. That was the best decision I ever made.
Right.
And a lot of people got rich, and a lot of people did well during the pandemic.
So I want you to talk about that because I know a lot of people that happened to. They started a business and then the world shut down, and it was like same thing. What am I going to do? First time they ever quitting a job, So what did you do? Like, how did you make your sale? How did you communicate with people?
Yeah.
Like, how did you maneuver around that?
Right. So I had give a ton of credit to two things. One, just social media, man. Just putting it out there, putting it out there, selling myself, branding myself. And the fact that I'm from this city, that helped a lot because I had relationships.
That's right.
Now I've got I got a black book of clientele that I sell cars to that have tons of money.
Right.
And I have relationships with them because I didn't just sell people cars. I developed relationships. I would have families that I would sell mom and dad a car, their kid, their uncle, and they would call and just referral.
Wow. Okay.
And that's how most businesses,
Yeah.
Because if I get word of mouth, I've already have some level of trust.
Right.
Because somebody you trust gave you to me.
Absolutely.
And vice versa. So I started doing that. And then some of my local friends, like Slim Thug, was a big help to me. Me and Slim Thug known each other for years. We grew up same part of town. He lived he went to high school one street over from me, where I went to a completely different high school. But he was rapping with some of my friends, and we was cool. He bought some cars from me, put it on social media, and my shit just started going.
Relationships again. Go back to relationships.
And I just posted everything I did, whether I thought it was cheesy or not.
Right.
I thought it was lame or not.
So you had no guidance with this. You just doing it. You just like, I'm just gonna put this out here, and if it sticks, it sticks.
Yeah, it sticks. Now I come from like a salesy, promotional type background. So I've always been an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I've always stepped out on faith. This is my first time not quitting or completely shifting careers.
Gotcha.
Like I've done a lot of stuff. People who know me, I've tried to sell. I have a clothing line. I've sold clothes. Tried to sell magazines.
Right.
You name it, houses, cars, everything. So I've always had a belief in myself and knowing if I figure it out, I can get it done. So I had all the knowledge from the business. So now I'm just use my social networking and my networking ability just to get it out there.
So do you think, because by me hearing this story, do you think this was all purpose? Like this was your plan automatic?
Yeah.
Like you didn't know it.
Yeah.
But because listen to that story, I'm like, the average person just can't walk into a car dealership the first day and sell a car. Yeah. They could have, I know some guys that have been having training forever. And it takes them forever to sell a car versus somebody just walking in and be like, okay, this is natural. Mm-hmm. Right? I asked that question. I was like, okay, do you think it was purpose? Like this is part of your purpose
Yeah.
in life, or you think it just was a skill that you possessed to go forward in life?
Right. Man, I think it was purpose. I think it's purposeful, man. I think we're all put here for a reason, brother.
Absolutely.
And we're all one of one. And I talk about that a lot. I do like motivational stuff too, sales training now. But I'm a big believer in that. I believe in me. That's the first thing. And I had parents, grandparents who instilled that type of belief system in me. And at that point, everything else is ordained from God, man. I'm a big believer. And he's guided my steps through the good and the bad. Because the bad, I wouldn't trade because I learned a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It helped me to get to where I'm at now. And I still make a ton of mistakes. But he's always got me, brother. I've always landed on my feet when it felt like it wasn't on my feet.
Right.
But when I look back at it, I was like, damn, I was okay. I'm all right. I'm still here. So I definitely think it was ordained, but I think the stars aligned and God just kind of guided my steps.
Because I like to hear that because when a lot of us start making a little money, we start become successful, or get a little clout or a little being known.
Yeah.
We tend to stray away from, I guess, our not our purpose, but we stray away from what caused this. Because a lot of people say, I did this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, you didn't do this.
Not at all.
So let me ask you this. Anybody that wants to get any type of skill training or you do some type of mentorship with the kids, how can they contact you?
Man, I would love to do mentorship with kids and talk to kids in schools or boys and girls programs, churches, whatever, because I was actually going to start doing that right before the pandemic hit.
Okay.
A couple schools reached out to me, and I was still at Cadillac at the time. My mother used to work in the school system.
Okay.
And I was going to start mentoring and teaching kids, but I would love to do that just for people to understand you can get all the stuff you see on TV the square way, so to speak.
Right.
And sometimes it might not be instant gratification. It's a marathon and not a sprint.
Right.
But I love to tell, hey, all these cars you done seen in rap videos and all these athletes and basketball players, I done had every one of them.
Okay.
And I ain't played in no NBA.
Right.
I ain't sold no dope. I don't have a song out. It took me a lot longer. But you know what I'm saying? So that part of it, I would love to do that to the younger. Now, I do get tons of people who reach out to me, adults who want to do what I do or want to change profession. And I get it. What I do is designed to show you all the good stuff.
Right.
But I tell people all the time, they'll ask me, I say, okay, how long you been in the car business? Have you worked at a dealership? I believe in the apprenticeship that I got from a dealership.
Absolutely.
People say, no, I haven't. I just want to,
Nah.
what you do is cool. I see the swag and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
You finally, bruh.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I did 7 years of apprenticeship.
Right.
So I tell people, go work for somebody.
Absolutely.
And learn it. Then you take it and run with it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, man, it's good, man. But you gave a lot of good nuggets today. I like that. What I wanted to ask you a question. You made me lose train of thought because I was thinking about something else. But, I want to ask you this. Is buying an exotic vehicle, is that a good investment now? Because I have a friend now, he has a Lamborghini, right?
Okay.
I believe it's I forget the name of it, Gawd.
Okay, Gawd, yeah.
So he was telling me that he paid, I think $275 for it.
All right.
Right. He said, but in the next 5 years, it's going to be double the price. So it's an asset.
Yeah.
Versus a liability.
It can be.
So,
it can be.
So do you think right now purchasing exotic vehicles is a investment?
It can be. And
Okay.
the reason why I say that is his Gawd is a little older, so those type of exotics, if he keeps the mileage down, and that's what I'm saying, there's different variables. You keep the mileage down and there's no accident reporting or no paint or no, stuff like that, then absolutely, it'll gain value. Fast forward to today, here's the thing. We all hear about all of the inflation that's been going on, right? And that's, that is not, the car business hasn't been immune to that. Like these luxury and exotic cars are going 10, 20, 30% over the
price,
MSRP.
Yeah.
So some people are paying $50,000, $70,000 over. 100 grand over. So when the Maybach truck just first came out last year, going 100 grand over.
Wow.
Lamborghini Urus, 100 grand over.
Wow.
But see how you defeat that, that's for people who got to have that car right then. I need that car. It just came in. It's available. It's going to go to the highest bidder.
Right.
How you make money in this day and age, if you can be patient, you order one.
Okay.
You order that vehicle, 9 times out of 10, you'll pay sticker, MSRP, or slightly above, maybe 5-10 grand.
Okay.
Because you ordered it. That's your car. If you can get a car now.
But you put a down payment on that, right?
You can put a deposit, which is completely refundable.
Okay.
Right?
So the deposit is refundable. Okay.
Yeah. So most deposits that I've seen, even at the high end luxury exotics, has been $5 grand.
That's it.
Like if you could afford that, most people want to put that on their Amex to get their points.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's refundable.
Yeah.
So now you have the opportunity. You got a car coming. Life happens. You change your mind. Something else. Boom, boom, boom. You get your money back.
Oh, that's dope.
And then you get the car at or close to MSRP. Now you in the drive. Now you winning.
I got you.
You could flip that car for 30, 40 grand because
Right.
that's what people are paying for it in the market, or you hold on to it.
And that's what they're doing. Okay, that's the game.
Yeah.
All right, order the vehicle, and it might take 2 months, 3 months to get here.
Yeah. Depends on what kind. Some of them are over a year.
Okay.
So that's the patient side of it.
Got you.
Yeah. So those Lamborghini Urus, G-Wagons are like 18 months.
Really?
Yeah. Some of them a year, 18 months. The new Range Rover, a year plus.
Yeah. Because actually, you know what? I'm going to tell you off camera. You know,
Okay,
I went to
cool.
Range Rover, bought my wife one, but I can't tell
got
you.
Yeah. I got you.
The IRS is not listening.
Right.
I don't make no money. Okay?
Nothing at all.
$0. Okay. Yeah, but okay, that's dope. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's dope. Let me get out of here. We got to get out of here because look, I can't give everybody all the gems. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I want you to do. For people that is looking for a vehicle and they need a salesman and they only want a black salesman.
Yeah.
Right? And they went in the Houston area or in the close around vicinity of Houston, how could they get in contact with you?
They can get in contact with me through my email is Rasheed, RASHID, at level, LEVEL, luxuryauto.com. That is my email, and then you can reach out to me on socials. It's Rasheed _ the Car Gawd, that's GAWD. And I check my DMs. I do all that all the time because that's business for me.
Absolutely.
So, with that. And then I get this question often. Do I only sell luxury cars? Do I only sell exotic, expensive, 100,000 plus cars? Mm-hmm. That's what I focus on.
Okay.
I sell anything with an engine and four tires.
Okay.
Like everybody goes to medical school, but some people, anesthesiologists, some people, heart doctor, that's what they focus on.
Okay.
I focus on the luxury and exotic, but I sell everything. But to your question, if you don't use me or my service, you can go in and request, I want a black I used to get that all the time. Don't be afraid. It's your dollars you're spending at a dealership. Absolutely. They're going to acquiesce to your demands.
Your request.
They ain't crazy. But yeah, as long as you say, hey, do you have a black salesperson I would like to work with?
Right.
Absolutely. They're going to find you one.
Because they want the black person to get the commission.
Yeah.
I get it.
Absolutely. So, hey, for those at home, request that if that's what you want.
There it is. Guys, look. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Look, this is the Culturally Distinct podcast. Look, I'm glad Rasheed came on. Although I'm going to have some technical difficulties up here. Don't worry about it. I'm on the other one. Yeah, but I appreciate Rasheed coming on and talking about how purpose led to his promise and how he's going to return that back to where he started from the teaching side of it, which is a full circle. Everything comes in full circle. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is DJ KO. Make sure you tell a friend